The good, bad, and ugly of working at startup.
30 of my colleagues were let go on that Friday.
Do you think there is a financial risk for employees in startup?
You may not get paid. Tesla was not sure whether they would be able to run their payroll or not.
They can be getting fired at any point of time.
The first risk that you should be willing to take, HR or human resources, could be an obstacle
So you are saying don't expect specialization?
because there is no one else to do it. You just cannot do one thing.
Like, the ugly truths first.
Did you ever hear that 13 billion tickets did not win the lottery today?
After all these, why do people still join? Hello, welcome back to Job Talks with Jag. My name is Shimpal. Today, me and Jag will be tackling the good, bad, and ugly of working at startup. So, hi Jag. I wanted to know. You said that you want to start with the ugly truths first. Why did you choose that?
Let us change the name. It is not good, bad, and ugly. It is dreams, demands, and dangers of working for a startup. So, my intention in starting with the dangers of working for a startup is because I'm a big proponent of taking an informed decision. Whenever I take a decision, I discuss with many people, I read as much as possible, I try to think of all the angles, and then I will take a decision. So I want every one of my friends and my well-wishers and of course our subscribers and anyone who is watching to do the same. You hear all the great news, just like you only hear about whoever won the lottery. Did you ever hear that 13 billion tickets did not win the lottery today? So we always see the good side of it. There are risks. I want you to take a calculated risk if you are choosing a startup career. So that is the reason I want to start with this segment first. And I was at both places. I got an opportunity to work for a few startups. And as a CEO of Kudos Wall, I know how difficult it is to run a startup too. So that is the reason I said that we should be doing the dangers of working for a startup first, so that I can provide as much information as possible. Anyone who is wishing to start a startup career, so they have all the information they need.
Okay, so let's start with the first danger of working at startup.
This is side effect. The work-life balance could be affected by the long hours or the always-on culture of a startup. What do I mean by always on? Let us say you go to a party with all the family or friends. Your phone may ring, or you may get an email, or you are expected to check your email because there may be a customer or there could be a problem in the code that you checked in and it cannot wait, at least according to them. So this always on culture could affect your work life balance. So that is the first danger or the first risk that you should be willing to take when you are considering a startup career.
And everyone is not wired for that as well, to work for long hours.
Even if you have done two or more startups, every startup is a new thing. Every startup brings new challenges. And what it means, long hours does not mean that you are sitting in one place and coding all the time or doing whatever that you are doing. You are not doing the same thing all the time. You may be asked to uh, take on something else. So that is also a challenge, right? So everyone is not wired for that too. That is the second thing. There is specialization. You are expected to do your work well, but you are also expected to do something else also. For example, if you are developer and you are not comfortable presenting in front of audience, but you may be asked one day because there is no one else to do it. No one else knows more than you about the product. So those kind of challenges will be there. So that also you need to be aware.
So you are saying don't expect specialization?
So I am not saying do not expect specialization, but there is a scope for specialization. You are expected to upskill yourself and do wonders in the field you have expertise in, but also may have to pick up few other things. To quote Vinita Gupta, first Indian in America to take a company public back in 90s. Startups should not spend their resources on things directly do not provide value to the product or the vision. So for example, she says HR or human resources could be an obstacle for an early stage startup. So uh, from 1990 even today, so kudos wall do not have a formal human resources department, because we want to put up resources where we get some value, and it is good for the investors, it is good for the employees. So everyone in a startup is expected to do everything. For example, how many people were there in Instagram when Facebook bought it? Under 15, there were 13 employees, and it was acquired for 1 billion. And if you are watching it on YouTube, so long time ago, there were only 65 people when YouTube was bought by Google for 1.65 billion. And most recently, if you see the WhatsApp, we all use it every day. So there were only 55 people when it was acquired by Meta for $19 billion. So how is it possible? Because they make sure that the resources are spent well. Some companies may do better than the other, but this is a risk that you should be willing to take, or you should be able to spend more time besides your specialization. So then you could specialize and also gain experience, which is not possible anywhere else. So that is the good side of it. We will discuss in, further, but this is the danger lying for you. You just cannot do one thing
So
in
that
most
is the
cases.
only danger you're talking about, that long hours. There can be more danger, right? They can be getting fired at any point of time.
So yes, there is more risk when you are getting into startup. Number one, funding could be the major issue. Like you said, if someone is bootstrapping, I got an opportunity. Luckily, most of the CEOs they were very very transparent. So they would give, we have this much runway left, that is, money left to run the company. So then you're more comfortable. And also sometimes it is external pressure that may make CEOs take tough decision. To give you a story which happened just in my career, on one Tuesday, chief technology officer, that is CTO of a company that I was working for, he comes to where I was sitting, and to me and my colleagues, he says, hey, XYZ company is laying off many people. I heard they have great engineers. If you know any of them, please contact them and send their resumes to me. We are going to hire them. At least we have 5 to 7 positions. We can hire 5 to 7 people because they are great engineering people. We were excited, thinking that everyone is laying off. Our company was hiring people. Then the same Friday, 30% of the staff, there were around 100 people in the startup that I was working for. Around 30 of my colleagues were let go on that Friday. So even CTO did not know what was coming. Hire and fire policy is very common across all the industries today. So even big companies, GE started it a long time ago. So bottom 20% are always cut every quarter in many companies even today. So job security is not there anywhere, but here you may be doing your job very well. If the company is not doing well, so there is more chance. And also not only that, sometimes some companies may not even be paying you on time. For example, in 2008 December, Tesla was not sure whether they would be able to run their payroll or not. So we only hear that success stories of Elon Musk and employees of Tesla or SpaceX who became rich and things like that. We do not hear all these stories, what went behind. Both SpaceX and Tesla were going to go bankrupt in 2008. Now after 17 years, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, and Teslas are there everywhere. So to Elon Musk was saying starting a company is like eating glass and staring in abyss. So eating glass, what he means is you may have to do unpleasant things. If it is a founder, they have to pick. Anyone else is not willing to do it, or they cannot do it. So Staring in abyss is uncertainty. I have seen some startup, all of a sudden one big bank who was paying $1 million, they were demanding a refund because they found a bug. And being a small company, they cannot fight with big customers like that. And also, customer is always right, and there was a bug. So and they were directly being threatened by a decision maker. So what are they going to do? Sometimes management may not be able to keep their cool also. They may take unnecessary action at the time instead of doing a constructive thing like, what happened and how we can not repeat and things like that. So that is the danger of that. Right? There is less process. If you were to let someone go in a big company, there is a process, right? You have to put someone in a performance improvement plan first, then you have to do this, do that. That process could be cut down to nothing if you are working for a startup. So that is a danger, but those are very rare. Mostly startups have to let go people because of the funding reasons. So that is why you have to see whether your company is spending money prudently or not. Are they hiring crazy when there is no demand?
On that note, let's talk about money. Do you think there is a financial risk for employees in startups?
I know many people who took at least 20-30% cut to work for a startup, either with a dream that it could really be successful and they could retire easily, or they just like the environment, or like the problem that this startup is trying to solve, and they want to be part of it, or
Or
they may be interested in the technology. Now that is the aspect of the salary. And second is, even if you took 20% cut, you may not be paid on time sometimes, right? There could be a customer may not be paying on the time, or the investment may be getting delayed, whatever is the reason. So you may not get paid. Let's say you got stock options. That is the third one, worth something. I don't know if Byju gave anything to their employees or not, but imagine you worked for Byju in 21, 22, or an early employee, and you held on to your stock. At the peak, if you see it, it was valued at 22 US billion dollars. And now you just check for yourself, it is zero. So if you held on to that stock, thinking that you could use it for your retirement, or for your children's education, or taking care of your parents, whatever that is, so that is a real danger. And also I have seen it myself when I was working for a startup. So on the IPO itself, the stock shot all the way to $272. So lucky, I sold after 2-3 months. So later I met one of my colleagues. So he was almost in tears because after the company did not do as well as the investors expected, the stock went to $8. Of course, that $8 is more than what he had, but he had plans for $272 a stock, and he had substantial amount of stocks. You see, your dreams really could get hurt at financial level also. So we know that 90% of the startups, according to the current statistics, could fail.
after all these danger, why do people still join?
Someone asked Edmund Hillary, why do you scale Mount Everest? So the answer was because it is there. So there are problems right in front of us. Some people like to ignore them. Some other people try to see someone else is going to clear the path for us. And there are other people who are really trailblazers. They want to make the path. And the people who choose startup careers, they want to assist them in making this new path, finding that new solution. It is adventure. Whether you are an employee or a founder, is more like a roller coaster ride. It has its own ups and downs and dangers. That gives kick to some people. That's why people take even salary cut. People like that. Not they. Most of the people, they know that there is less chance for success, and also there is big camaraderie, or a lot of friendship in the startup environment, because you are doing everything So that means you're making friends, you're cross functional. So they don't want to be sidelined, and they just don't want to sit in the cube and do typing all the time. So those kind of people are also attracted to this kind of thing. And
And people get to learn also, right? Like if let's say I am in marketing, I cross function with engineering team as well, so I know how that part works, and to learn that how the product works, how the behind the structure of product works, that is also very great, right? That is a great learning to have. And vice versa, even the engineering team learns from marketing what ideas we are getting, so they improve the product like that, that what the customer is saying, they hear
exactly.
from marketing or sales team.
Exactly. I think you put it right. Cross functional lets you learn, and some people, like you said in the beginning, may not be wired for it, but
Hmm.
people who are wired for it definitely will enjoy the startup journey. And not only that, they can really see the impact that they are creating in the society. Even just at kudos wall. So whenever we see someone got a job or someone got an interview call because of the resume that they built using kudos wall, we all are very happy and celebrate that. At the same time, we retrospect when something did not work for our customer. So we hear their pain, we see their pain, we feel their pain, and we try to address it. In the process, it also helps us become better human beings also, because we are empathizing directly with the customer. So that is a rare chance that you get when you are working for a big company. So that's why there are a lot more egos, if you see, in big companies than in a startup culture. Big companies, sometimes I saw myself, they may see that customer as not so wise, to put it mildly.
Yeah, but also I think in the sense of employees, it motivates them. It motivates let's say there is there is something that customer didn't like, or there is something that customer like. It motivates both ways. So in the not
Exactly.
liking part, you will grow, like you will see how to improve that part of your product, and in the liking part, you will again think, okay, what more I can give to the customer so that they like it more. That part of growing is also there.
Another thing that people may like is, let's say, if you are working uh, in a big company, a small decision could take a while. If you are working for a small company, decision is quick. Let's say, if my developer comes and says, I want to implement this solution, so decision will be very, very quick. Hierarchy is less, and appreciation will be there. Most of the people, they want their ideas to be implemented, so it won't be trounced by a big bureaucracy, if you will.
What would you say about the perks? Some of the startup gives perks, right? That you just for that purpose, people sometimes join startup. Like, oh, I will get this free food. I will get this games to play. I will get to have more outing or more relaxed way of office system. Like it's not chair and table. It's like there are other kinds of structure of working as well, relaxing, more time of sleeping, and all these things. The startup gives this, right? So do you think people join for those purpose, or those?
I never consider those as the real reasons for joining these startups. But some people may, I agree. So perks are great. So if they are giving, one should take it and enjoy it. In the companies that I worked, free snacks were there. And at one company, lunch was directly brought to my desk, and I could pick actually from two restaurants in the morning. Every morning, 9 o'clock, I could just go online and select, what I want for lunch, and the lunch will be directly brought to my desk at 11:45. So there is a benefit to it. There is no question. Some companies still do it. In US, it is very less now. Big companies are doing it, like Google. Those kind of perks are gone in US, but they are still prevalent in India, because India has a lot of startups now. They have 70 unicorns as we speak. Um, and they are attracting a lot of investments from everywhere. So there is a lot of prospects, and these perks are to not only attract you, to keep you also. And always on culture, let's say they let you bring your dog to the workplace, so that you don't have to worry about the dog, right? That happened in the workplaces that I worked. And they, let's say, they are bringing some barber salon kind of facilities there at work, so you are saving that time, so that you don't have to worry about it. And if there is a ping pong table, so that is good, so you can relax, not all work. So if you don't like long hours, do not expect that you can play ping pong 2 hours and you can just work for rest of the 6 hours. So ping pong is there to compensate for those long work hours, at least that is in my opinion. So you can relax a little bit, you can take a 15-minute break and just relax, so that you're more productive when you go back. And also you have to see if the company has enough money and they are spending wisely on these perks also. For example, if you saw Byju's marketing, I'm not talking about perks, but Byju's marketing, all the cricketers were wearing jerseys with Byju's name on it. So those kind of things that you see whether the company is burning or investing the money. Sometimes sponsoring the Indian cricket team may be a great idea, sometimes it may be not. So if your loan reason is to join a company because of the perks that they are offering, that may not be the right reason. All that I am asking is to make an informed decision.
Would you also like to talk about the family structure they make at startup? Like, okay, we are family, we depend on each other. These kind of things. Do you think everyone is ready for that? And sometimes it's just I'm saying, and sometimes they say they are family, but they don't consider as family when it comes to hard decisions they are taking.
So it is purely my personal view. So, and not to date myself, there is a TV show called Seinfeld, which I like a lot. So in that there is a character called George. So he believes in separating the worlds. So I want everyone to separate their professional world with their personal world. I use the word camaraderie. So why people like working in startups is because there is a lot of camaraderie. You fight with people. You will have passionate arguments about these decisions that you are taking. But at the end of the day, there is something to ship. So you work like a team, very closely bonded team with less politics. Again, I do not think that even if someone says it, they may mean it also, but decisions are decisions, even in the family. So you will have to take tough decisions. So family does not mean that you will not be affected. I again, as I said, separate these two words. Be professional. That should not be the reason. Okay, that company treats me like a family. That's why I want to work for them. No, they need to see your competence, your expertise, and they value for that. That's when, okay, then they treat you well. That is an extra bonus. So do not take that bait, in my opinion.
Okay, lastly, I would like your views on remote culture. Like, we are remotely working, right? It's mostly startups maybe adapting this culture. Uh, I have seen some startup adapting this culture. Even TLHQ has a complete remote work culture. So, what is your view on that? And do you think people should be ready for that too? Or what is the advantage of remote culture and what is the disadvantage of remote culture?
I worked for many startups. Startups, if you are working under one roof, they work well. Even though we are fully remote, I have to say it. The reason is simple. Camaraderie is different. You will celebrate more. For example, in one company that I worked for, there was a big bell there. So every time one customer deal was closed, someone would go and ring that bell. So that gave sense of joy, sense of purpose. Those are not possible in remote culture. But as an employer, so what why I adopted remote is for few reasons. Number one, I don't want to spend the resources where it was not needed. A big office is not needed. And number two, I cannot compete with big companies to attract top talent if I am sticking to a place. So that is the second reason. I want to go where talent is, and if they are cut for the remote work, then of course they will join Kudos Wall or any other company which is providing remote opportunities. Some people, again, they may not be, to use your own words, wired for it. They want, at the end of the day, they want some social interaction, they want to water cooler talks, they want to be treated as family by their colleagues. So then they may choose the physical location. Again, remote does not mean that it is all good. Remote does not mean all that bad. Flexibility is needed. So you have to look for a company where they offer flexibility. And we are not one all the time also. To give my own example, so when my son was younger, so I was offered a job with 30% hike, but they did not offer the flexibility that I needed it at that time, because we both were working, and there is a little kid with us, and we need to take turns to raise this child. So flexibility was very much needed. So now I work all the time, even later when my son was a little older. So I could go back to what I like. I like always on culture. That's what gives me kick. But you have to decide, is it for you or not? That's what
Oh,
we have to do.
on that note, let's give our listeners something practical that they would know that if they are fit for startup life or not.
As I said, you always need to make an informed decision. So let me try to make it easy for you to decide whether startup career is right for you or not at this point of your life. Number one, do you like always on culture? That means long hours. That means maybe interrupting your social life. Number two, are you a person who likes process, or you don't need process, you want quick decisions? So what kind of person are you? Number three, so do you like to just work on what you know already and improve more in that field, or want to wear multiple hats and gain experience in the startup? Am I emotionally and financially ready for the risk that I am taking now? So that is a question you need to ask for yourself. So fifth one is the most important one. In my opinion, you should start with this. Always start with why. Why do you want startup career? Are you looking for a title? Are you looking for money? Are you looking for free time? So what exactly is your motive here? So that motivation you have to understand. One of my mentors jokingly said to me before I started Kudos Wall, so do not expect yourself to make a lot of money, or have a lot of free time, or boss around, because at the most you'll be the chief pizza delivery officer. So what he meant at the time was, you have to do everything and anything that is needed for this company to be successful. That just does not stop at founder or CEO. That responsibility passed on to you as one of the few employees starting this journey with these founders, crazy founders that they are.
Also, I think one of the motivation can be starting their own startup also. They want to learn how to, they want to get inside it and learn how they can start their own startup, because the learning process is wide. You get to work closely with the CEO, you get to work closely with other teams as well. So if you in the later parts of your life, if you want to start your startup, how what should you do, what you have learned from the past?
It could definitely help. As we discussed, they get the first row seats in this exciting journey. But I also discourage someone to take this opportunity just for that. Because if you are observant, so there are stories all around. If you want to learn, there is a lot of material out there, both success and failure. Nothing like practical experience, but is it the risk that you want to take or not? That is a question for themselves. So I agree. So it is quite valuable. The lessons that you learn in the startup are almost not taught in any business school, in my opinion.
So we started off with the danger part, but slowly we see that there is a light also. And as I am also working for startup, I see the light, so people can make their decision themselves. What would you say, Jack?
If it were not exciting, I would not be in this journey. You would not be in this journey. So, the whole purpose of this conversation is to help anyone who is listening to make an informed decision for themselves, especially if you are just getting out of the college, hearing only about the perks or the success stories of startups. Perhaps whatever we discussed could help them little. So that was the objective of it. If nobody is trying new things, world will be very boring. So startups are necessary, and startups need people and talented people. I want everyone to try it at least once in their life, but make an informed decision, pick the right time and right opportunity, and take the risk. It's not the end of the world.
Okay. Thanks for listening to Job Talks with Jag. Comment below if you have any question related to the startup. We will address that. And also, we will add the fit check for startup in the description. Thank you.
And to add to that, what are your startup stories? Good, bad, ugly, whatever that is. What are the challenges that you faced in your startup? Please put in a comment, and we would like to learn from you too. Thank you, Shimpal. Thank you.
Thank you, Jag. Thank you for having me.